So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that tuned in to my recent video, 50 Cent's 20-year plot to destroy Diddy. Now, this video was a labor of love, you know. I mean, I tell you what, I couldn't have picked a more perfect frame to land on than the diddler himself. That is actually shocking. That is shocking. That was beautiful. That was, oh man, cinematic. Absolutely cinematic. Anyway, shout out to everybody that checked out this video. So, look, a lot of people have done their little Diddy video since the charges have dropped on Brother Love himself, all right? It's been a bit of a free-for-all on Planet P. Diddy over the last, I mean, I want to say the last year or so, maybe year and a half, all right? Things have been, the downfall of Diddy has been delicious, quite frankly. And I wanted to do a video on it. Now, look, you might not be surprised to learn that I definitely would love to do a kind of full-blown Diddy documentary, the dark downfall. Imagine all the D's. It's a Diddy story, so there's naturally going to be a lot of D's in there. The dark, disgusting, debaucherous downfall of the diddler. You know what I'm saying? That's going to hit. That's going to hit like a Netflix. That's going to hit like Surviving R. Kelly. But I didn't want to go too deep into it like thus far, because look, let's be real. We're all waiting for the charges to drop on Diddy, right? You saw the raid on his crib. Right? You saw the raid on his crib. The feds aren't raiding you like that. Let's see. Raid P. Diddy Mansion. Right? The feds don't do this to your yards for a laugh.
Associated with Sean Combs, or Bad Boy Entertainment. So it's...
There are 3 Bearcats on scene here.
They're not doing that for a joke, right? That's not, you know... What do you guys call it? Knockdown Ginger. That's not... what do you call Knockdown Ginger, where you knock on the door and run? Not DoorDash. What do you guys call it? Ding Dong Ditch. This ain't Ding Dong Ditch, okay? This is Ding Dong Diddler, all right? This is... Big charges coming. This ain't happening unless something's crazy happening, all right? Allegedly, all right? Allegedly, in my opinion. So we're all waiting for the big raid and the big fall of Diddy, but we're waiting for bigger charges, man. Yes, there was the Cassie lawsuit. We got a lot of information. Yes, the Lil Rod lawsuit is out there, but then again, a lot of people are saying it's not necessarily as real as we think it is. Shout out my guy UK Drill Plug in the chat, by the way. What's good, cuz? But anyway, the thing is, I'm waiting for that big dossier, or the disgusting dossier of the diddler to drop. That's what I'm waiting for. So I decided, you know what? Why not focus on a different aspect of the diddler's history and the diddler's dirty, disgusting, dark, debaucherous downfall? Okay, if we're playing Ding Dong Diddler, all right, we need to go for the dark, debaucherous. We need to go for the different tangents. So I decided to make a video just focusing on 50 Cent's 20-year plot to destroy Diddy. And it gets deep. Like, I honestly, like, we started working on this, and I just couldn't have imagined how deep it got. For the fact that Diddy was offering Fiddy to go shopping famously, all right? Famously offered him to go shopping. Let's find that bit, all right? Let's find that bit. Now, you're about to see some YouTube wizardry right here if you don't know, all right? We're going to find the exact part. We're going to find the exact part.
I mean, like, I paid for it. I was like, what the f***
The same thing to him, you asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. 50 Cent.
Thought he needed some clothes.
At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
50 would... In the course of researching this video, it was just so interesting to me how, like, interconnected all these little things were. Like, Diddy offering to take 50 Cent shopping, and then the next thing you know, right, where is it? The window shopper video. Boom. It's video twisted. Then he's taking Mace. Then he's taking Diddy's artist shopping. It's mind games. As my boy Young Spray, Mr. RTM, would say, it's straight mind games. All right. Shout out Alpha God with the super chat. Appreciate the love, man, on the King Von and Draco documentaries, my G. But anyway, the mind games that are being played by 50, man. So I found this story incredibly interesting. I found it fascinating, and I just wanted to focus on like a different aspect of the Diddy disgusting, dirty, diddling, dastardly downfall. All right, that I possibly could. So I'll keep it real with you. I actually didn't think this video would do very well. I actually thought this video was going to flop. And what was interesting to me was that I know that everybody loves the gangster stories. And yes, we're going to talk about the Lil Jeff video and how excellent that was and how insightful that was about the goings-on in the perk-sniffing underworld of drill music. But I wanted to bring a little throwback. I wanted to go to 50 Cent, Diddy, like take it back to the old school Trap Law Ross taking the piss out of these fools kind of thing. And I just got to say thank you to the audience, man. Shout out to everybody that supported and got in there, man. Shout out to Vince Villaborn in the chat as well. My guy, I'm going to look into those stories for you. But, you know what I mean? 1.2 million views. It ain't all about the views, man. But the fact that this is more of a throwback story, there's no violence, all right? Unless you count Diddy's dastardly, dirty, disgusting, you know what I'm saying, debaucherous, domestic diddling. All right, unless you count that, this isn't a violent story. So I'm really glad that this did well. I'm really glad that like this is just like, you know, a throwback kind of story that's still, you know, look, it costs me a lot of money to make these videos now, right? It actually has to do well for it to even make sense with such a goddamn big team. So, you know, it's not all about the numbers, but also if you want to keep seeing stuff, I'm trying to drop every week. It's coming good. So let's take a little look. Let's take a little forage. Let's take a little look at the comments on this one, right? And we can just see what some of you guys thought. 'Cause it's all about you. It's all about your thoughts. It's all about the audience. Like, I want to know what you guys thought of this, man. How did you feel? So let's take a look. This is a top comment. I don't think 50 is a villain. I don't think 50... Oh, my God. I don't think 50 is a villain. Diddy is the villain. 50 is like an anti-hero. Something like Deadpool or Spawn or Blade. Now, I think there's something funny about 50 Cent's personality. I think that 50, like, actually kind of sees himself as almost like, I think 50 kind of sees himself as a bit of a supervillain, or like even like a superhero. Like he probably sees himself as a superhero. Like he survived 9 bullets. This guy is actually a superhero, realistically. Like if somebody was gonna write, it's like if the new Stanley was gonna write the new comic book about somebody coming from Jamaica, Queens, they'd be taking 9 bullets and surviving and becoming goddamn Superman. So that's what 50 is. And shout out to John Anthony HD in the chat, my guy. Big ups. Get hot in here, like Nelly. Another throwback. Who wants the Nelly story? Comment if you want the Nelly story. Anyway. Oh, man. Need a haircut as well. So some people are just picking out little comments. Now, this is the thing, okay? As I said before, I wanted this video to be a throwback, more back to the time when I used to kind of make fun of rappers or just have a little bit more fun with it. Have a little bit more fun with the stories, okay? Have a little bit more fun with the stories. And, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like... I wanted to toe the fine line between making fun of rappers and cracking little jokes. But also, let's be real, it is a very serious story about a dark, debaucherous, diddling gentleman named Diddy having a downfall. So I didn't want to take the piss and make the whole thing like a comedy pratfall. But at the same time, I wanted to have a few jokes. And, you know what I'm saying? Ciroc came in fruity flavors that matched Diddy's personality perfectly. The jabs that I put in this video were very subtle. There were quite a few subtle jabs. I know a lot of people were looking for the mistakes that I hid in the video because, you know, we're looking for new reviewers for the channel. But the very little pointed, there were a few very little, I just slid them in there, just slipped them in there, little disrespectful lines, mainly aimed towards Diddy. So glad you're liking that. Shout out to UK Drill Plug in the chat, my G. Big ups, my guy. Keep doing your thing, man. So 50 is so petty and yet so calculated. Worst combo for enemy. That is facts. Do you imagine being 50's enemy? Like making an enemy of 50 Cent. Like doing something. Imagine you get to know 50 Cent and you put your foot in it and you're like, oh shit, I'm enemies with 50 now. Like this, it's over for me. Like this is it. This is my dark, disgusting, twisted downfall. The older I get, the more I appreciate 50 Cent. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. We got to protect 50 Cent at all costs, man. I mean, how old is 50 Cent? Is 50 pushing 50? Because he looks good. I saw him perform live in Amsterdam last year. He was looking damn good. He was moving fast. He was in shape. Maybe we need 50 for president. How old's 50 Cent? 50 Cent age. 50 Cent age. No way. No way. 50 Cent is 49. Now, how mad is that? 50 is about to be 50. 6th of July. So it's about a year until 50 turns 50. He's looking good for 49. That's actually insane. That is actually insane. Big ups, my guy, 50 Cent. Waiting 20 years for somebody's downfall is diabolical. 50 Cent is hilarious. That is fact. This one's hilarious. Saying someone isn't worth 2 million with 2 million in their pocket is a wild diss. Now, if you know this one, okay, this is from the documentary where 50 Cent basically said that he didn't want to pay. I think it was, Diddy was asking for $2 million for Mace to come out of his contract and join G Unit, hence all the window shopping that was going on. And he basically said that he's not worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket, which is just an incredible diss. All right, not to be the comedy, not to be the Grim Reaper of comedy and destroy this joke by breaking it down into its component parts, but like the suggestion he isn't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket is indicative of the amount of problems and headaches that you would have simply having Mace. Even with $2 million to fully reimburse you, you are down bad if you have Mace on your label. So arguably 50 Cent dodged a bullet, you know, if that's how he feels. Pocket, and that he'd have paid $1 million max.
Was there a number talked about?
Yeah, I was like, what you looking for that? He said $2 million. I'm like, Mace ain't worth $2 million with $2 million in his pocket. You crazy? It was $1 million over what that was supposed to. He could have got $1 million. Like,
50 would have paid the M. Fair play. 50 would have paid the M, but $2 million. Even with $2 million in his pocket, man, I think it's been a long time since Mace has had $2 million in his pocket, if I'm completely honest with you. No disrespect, Mace. Little bit of disrespect. But I think them pockets ain't $2 million. I think it's been a minute. It's been a minute. So 50 angrily refused Diddy's offer to take him shopping, but Meek Mill, The Game, and French Montana gladly accepted it. Man, is there any footage of Diddy shopping with fools? There's got to be, right? Diddy shopping with Meek. Is there footage of them shopping? Please tell me it just comes up. Okay, Young Miami shopping. Okay. To be fair, there's no proof that Diddy's ever taken anyone shopping. Maybe it's shopping, but you don't make it to the shops. You know what I'm saying? Diddy shopping. Who else would he go shopping with? The Game. Is this comment cap? Let's just find out if this comment's cap. Is he actually taking anyone shopping? The only person I see him taking shopping is Young Miami. But I haven't had a long time to look. Okay. All right, he must have been doing... I said he must have been doing an impeccable job. If you know, you know. It's one thing to see your enemy's downfall, but making a Netflix documentary about it is truly diabolical. I think I would be on that level of pettiness, man. All the ops, man. When I finally get my Netflix deal, I'm taking down all the ops. We're doing a 6-part miniseries on everybody that took my lunch money at school. Anybody that ever said anything to me, you cut me in a line, bro, you getting full hour-long expose, bro. The dark, disgusting, dirty, diddling downfall of whoever that was that cut me in line. Dark, dastardly, disgusting, dirty downfalls. Goddamn, 50 is the man. He just funny as hell when he trolling the diddler. Report to the nearest rainbow. Never underestimate 50's capacity to hold a grudge for decades. Okay, look. You get the gist, man. Shout out to everybody that watched this video. Shout out. I was about to say shout out to the diddler for providing such hilarious context, but that's actually cap. We're not doing that. We're not saying that because that would be disgusting. But what it does make me think is that we're due an update on the diddler, to be completely honest with you. We actually really do need an update. We need to know what's going on with the diddler. And as far as I'm aware, there's not really been any major updates. Let's have a look. Has there been anything new? I'm looking on the Google News tab, and you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing, really seeing it. Like all the news is like back in July. It's quite old, so there's nothing news landed. But then again, like if that Fed raid is actually on the way, surely it's coming. Like the last major, so like this is the last thing that was actually related to Diddy that's like fresh news, but I don't think it's that serious compared to what's going on. So like this is in The Guardian, a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. Diddy asked judge to dismiss music producer's case. So Diddy's lawyers are basically asking for Lil Rod's lawsuit, and that's the one that basically was saying Diddy was getting dastardly with Meek Mill. Diabolically dastardly with Meek Mill. So they're saying that they're basically saying the music mogul's lawyers argue the lawsuit filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones is overrun with tall tales, aka cap, straight cap. So this is literally the most recent news relating to Diddy. So this is him fighting back. Sean Diddy Combs asked a federal judge Monday to throw out a lawsuit from a music producer who accused the music mogul of a broad pattern of sexual abuse and other misconduct, dastardly. The lawsuit filed in February by Rodney Lil Rod Jones is one of many filed against Combs in the past year, but apparently it's overrun with tall tales, lurid theatrics, and legally meaningless allegations, as well as blatant falsehoods, whose intent is only to generate media hype and exploit it to extract a settlement, according to a motion filed to dismiss, put into the federal court in New York. Now, I believe the rumor was, the rumor report, was that Cassie got paid $30 million for her lawsuit. But I think Cassie was getting it a lot worse than Lil Rod. And I don't know if Lil... look, we don't know. Can we really... You know what I'm saying? Can we really... I don't know. But I want to see this play out in court. I want to get the full facts of the case. So Diddy's lawyer is basically fighting back. They say the case fails to establish that Jones has a standing to sue, does not include essential details, including times and places of incidents described, and it fails to make a single viable claim according to the motion. Several lawsuits alleging sexual and other abuse against Combs had already been filed when Jones sued in February, so he kind of jumped on the bandwagon, really. But this says the circumstances surrounding this hip-hop star have grown more dire since. If it's dire is one way of putting it. I would call it a dirty, dastardly downfall. But dire, we can add dire to the bag of D's that Diddy is currently taking. In March, simultaneous raids on Combs' homes in Florida and California led to the revelation he was the subject of a continuing federal criminal trafficking investigation. Now, this was back in July. So look, there's not been any updates on the supposed alleged federal investigation, but it's not looking good. Like, I feel like the feds, they got you know what I'm saying? A lot of lawsuits. This is another one. They're saying Adria English, a former adult film actor, alleges Combs groomed and coerced her into doing stuff with guests at parties he hosted and made her consume alcohol and them Teslas, if you listen to Lil Durk. All right. Combs has denied the allegation. So look, he's getting it from all angles, which ironically is what he was probably arranging for other people to have done to them from the dirty diary of the diddler. But, you know, this is the latest. He's fighting back. Basically, you know, this article is now just kind of clarifying and rehashing all of the stuff that happened. But it's not a good look, okay? And I will do a full breakdown. I will do a full investigation into this situation. But for now, I just think that the Diddy versus 50 Cent beef is like the perfect lens to look at the Diddy 50 story, because essentially you've got 50 that basically saw the whole thing happen, unfold over decades. He was there. 50 knew Wagwan. 50 knew what was coming. 50 could see the little strings that Diddy was pulling through all those years when he was dating Jennifer Lopez, when he's running around with Sean. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knew, he was plugged into what was going on. 50 sniped it from a distance and knew exactly where it was going. And when the actual Diddy downfall happens, if he really goes down, who knows? He could end up going out like Jeffrey Epstein. Wouldn't that be sad? Wouldn't that be fucked up? But listen, I don't know what's going to happen with Diddy. That's the latest on that. I don't know if I've got anything else to say on the diddler per se, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the diddler in any way, shape, or form. And I wouldn't be surprised if the whole thing collapses like a house of cards.